Hello, Brick Sculptors, and welcome back to Brick Sculpt. This is Chris, and this is part 2 of library tips, tricks, and techniques. And we have finished off the library, but I'm going to build a lot of it here in real time with you. If you've been keeping up with my videos, I just did a video on building the basement of the library here and getting all these awesome details crammed in here. And if you want to see that video, I'll link it here as well as at the end of the video. We're ready to get the rest of the library going. So let's go ahead and start with the first floor. All right, as you can see, I've laid out this pattern on the floor. I started with the floor all white and it was just horribly boring. So I decided to mix it up a little bit. It looks like a really busy floor right now, but once I put all the details in here, I think it looks really good because it kind of breaks it up a little more. You can see I've already got studs placed throughout, certain attachment points for all the things I'm going to put in there. And let's go ahead and put some things in there. First thing we're going to need in any library is bookshelves. So here's a bookshelf. And we just add some details on top here, little artifacts, paintings, whatever. These are mostly reference materials because this one is going to go back here, which is going to be behind where the librarian sits. There we go. Next, I have this little bit larger bookshelf, and I've again have a few artifacts up on top there. Here we have a mixture of references, and it looks like some more fun reading materials right there. That's going to go along this wall here to make for kind of the lobby area where you would check out or get a book just to read while you sit there. And then we need the librarian's desk. This is the desk that I created here, made a little computer there with a display, got a little plant, and that's going to go right here by the door. Now every desk is going to need a chair, so I have an office chair. I've used a lot of these throughout this build. I got a couple in the basement. I'm going to have a few on this floor and a few on the top floor as well. But that is where our librarian will sit once I add her in there. All right, next up we need some seating. Now over on this side here, I wanted a seating area in this front window. And so I'm using this couch here. I actually recycled out of a different build, but I absolutely love this design. Real simple with brackets and tiles. And I've got jumper plates on the bottom because it is going to sit on some odd numbered studs right over here in the window. There we go. And then I have a couple of matching chairs, same building technique with the brackets. And these are just going to go right over here in the lobby area. I always like to put these on single studs so I can rotate them. Just makes a little bit more realistic look. And that's where we can wait and read a book or talk to our librarian there. In the middle of the chairs, I wanted a little end table. So I just put a newspaper on this little pedestal end table I made. We'll stick that right in between them. And then I wanted some computers in here. So over on this wall, I made a row of 2 computers, and these computer desks are just built up on these metal legs. These metal legs might look familiar, they might not, but these are actually faucets. This is a technique I use a lot. The telescope piece is great for legs, but I find it a little too long for most applications. The faucet is great. Now you do have to find something to do with that bar piece, but you can angle them in and they look like a good metal structure of the table underneath. So there is my double computer desk. I have some monitors that are just blank and some that have things on them. So I'm going to seat people at the ones that are on and nobody at the ones that are off. That's just going to go on the wall over here, over by our waiting area. And again, we need more computer chairs. So I got 2 more of those to stick in front of these computers. And I want to have a wastebasket next to it so people can discard of garbage while they're sitting there at the desk. There we go. Now a couple more details. I want to have some cool things to show off in here. So I'm going to put a little table here where somebody might, display their own little creations. We'll just put that right next to the couch. That looks good. And maybe a little plant here right next to the door. All right, all I have left to do is add in the figs. First, our librarian. There she is. She's going to sit down right here behind the desk. I've got this young man who looks like a student. Got a backpack on. He's going to be walking in right here by the front door. Let's get Rick in there too. Rick's going to sit right on this couch. And then I've got this lady here with a note in her hand. We're going to seat her down at this computer. There we go. And that finishes our first floor. What do you think? Go ahead and add it on the building here. I have also completed the exterior of the building, so I'm going to show you that last. And I hope this helps show why I like the dollhouse style for this, because when I'm done, this is going to look so cool to look in. I know the basement's a little bit low, but that's just how it works well in my city. I'd love to have it a little taller, but trust me, I'm not doing it. It's going to make it a lot more difficult, and it's just going to mess with the whole aesthetic of the city and the levels and everything like that. So it's going to be low in the basement. I apologize for that. All right, next floor. Here we have the second floor, which again, I have that flooring over in this area. I made this really cool rug for the kids area. And what I did with these tiles, I actually pulled all the colors out of these tiles and used them in tiles around them to kind of frame it in. Now you'll notice I have a bunch of studs in there because this is going to be full of kids and toys. A lot of action over there in the kid area. And then I have this little boxed in area in the middle. This came out of having to have this bump to get over the arch for the doorway. So I thought it'd be a really cool little computer lab. So up here, you can get a little bit of quiet and kind of box in that computer area where the kids aren't too distracting for the computer lab portion. All right, let's go ahead and put some things in here. Again, every library needs to start with books. So we have this bookcase here where I have a nice collection of plants on top. That's going to go back here in the window. There we go. And I have a nice large bookcase here. I kind of want to build a second train car for this. That was supposed to go in the kids area, but it's a little bigger. And so I thought, hey, maybe it's like a hand-built model train from somebody. So maybe I'll make another car for that other section. I just haven't done it yet. But this is going to stick right here on the side. And that's going to be the bulk of the adult books right there. As for the kids side, we need books also. So I used the brightly colored books over there, and I have a few cool books displayed on top. And that's going to go over here in the children's section. There we are. Looking good. All right, what else do we need? Let's get that computer lab filled out. So I got a couple more computer desks here. These are just like the one down on the first floor, except they're individual. And I'm going to plug those into this room here. I think I'll take this apart just so you guys can see better what's going on in here, and I can get the pieces in easier too. Let's go ahead and just tear it apart. There we go. Wall comes down. All right, we're going to put the first two computers back here in the window. Another trash can that's going to go right here in this corner. And then we're going to have one more computer desk right here. And then, of course, we have to add chairs. So we got 3 more office chairs. A lot of office chairs in this building. And we're just going to put those on these spots. And our computer lab is complete. Let's go ahead and wall that in again. Give them a little bit of privacy. You know, before I totally seal it up, let's get this guy in there. He's going to be sitting at this one computer back here. There we go. Stick this back down. All right, what's next? I thought it'd be really cool to put a chessboard in there. So I built this table here. Now, I don't know if this is actually a chessboard or if it's a Minecraft thing, but it looks like a chessboard. The amount of squares isn't correct for a chessboard, but that's okay. But I'm going to stick it right here. And then one of my favorite ways to do wooden chairs is to do the legs like this. It's the only way I've found to do nice individual legs that aren't crazy tall. And it's just one of these nipple pieces into a 1x1 round plate with open stud. I do 4 of those, and those are my 2 wooden chairs for my chess table right there. And now the kids section. I wanted to do a little art table here, so I've got some things on top and just a little bench there. We're going to put that along the window. I wanted to make sure I kept it nice and short so the kids could reach it. I wanted to do a few little cushions here. I had these stickered tiles. I think these are from Friends, Lego Friends. And we're just going to put those in here as well on the rug. kind of at the art table here. Little spots for the kids to sit. Perfect. I also have this medical kit from Friends. I thought it made for a really good looking doctor kit. You know, libraries often have lots of toys to play with. My daughter loves going to the library because they've just got so much cool stuff. We'll put a chair in this corner here for a parent to watch over and maybe read to kids for story time. Got another one of these stickered pieces, this tabletop here from Friends. We're going to put that right there. And now we have lots of cool stuff there for the kids to do as well. I have another book cart. I can't find a great way to attach this, so it is going to kind of float, but it looks good enough if you're not looking for it. So we'll put that right there as well. So we have a book cart upstairs as well. And then we have to get some figs in. So first we have Mom in the crazy bunny outfit. I thought that was perfect. Way over enthusiastic. So she's going to be sitting here in the chair in her bunny outfit. And then we have the two kids who are just having a blast. This young man's going to go right back here. And then his little sister, let's call her, right here, working with the art stuff. I think it turned out really cool. All right, now we can stack that on here. And there you can see that dollhouse view, but we are not done yet. We still need to get the roof finished. Let me go ahead and change the camera angle here and show you how we're going to do this roof. All right, so for the roof, I put a lot of thought into this one. And this is what I came up with. We got a peaked roof with two different sides on it that's going to match with the peak in the top. So that'll slide on just like this and clip into place. Just like that. So there's our facade. I changed this up a little bit from the other videos. We've got our drop box in the front, which will be at street level when this is in the actual city. The only thing I have to do is fill in that gap in the top. So I just have a column of pin connectors here in black. That's just going to set right in the top there. And that completes our library here. I'm going to give you a few more views of this here before we wrap it up. But this was a lot of fun to build. I think it turned out absolutely amazing. And this is going to be a lot of fun to show off in the Lego City. Let's go ahead and take another look. Well, I hope you guys liked this video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I'm just going to do more just like this in the future. I have to do my brewery still, so I'll be working on that next. This building, for the most part, is done and ready to stay in the Lego City, so it's time for our next project. If you have any questions, please leave them below. I'll do my best to answer them. That's all I have for this time, and we will see you next time.